Hey y'all, welcome to Everybody in Charlotte. I'm your host, Marinator, here at Everybody Studios with my amazing guest. We have Corinne Eckert. She is an amazing high performance coach and also a breathwork coach here in Charlotte. And we're so excited just to be able to share with you guys some really great uplifting advice today. And I just adore her. We met recently and we have a lot of crazy overlap and connections.
Yeah, it's so good.
Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you so much for having me. So excited.
Yes.
Especially the energy with you is always so much fun. So basically she was just like, what would you like to share with people? What do you think would be the most helpful for everybody? And I'm such an organized person that I brought my phone with my bullet points. So we're all good there.
And we're going to just go through them systematically.
Yeah. And so, mainly I help entrepreneurs and athletes and people just going after big dreams that no one else really believes in. And so a lot of these are around that.
I love that.
The biggest thing is like mindset is everything. Like really whatever you believe is true in your heart and your soul and your brain, like your brain looks for reasons for that to be true. So if you're like, man, today's a terrible day, like your brain is going to look for bad things. But if you are like, today's the best day ever and I'm, everyone loves me, you're going to notice that people are looking at your shoes and people are complimenting you and you're having a really great day and you're really happy because your brain is looking for that confirmation bias. It's looking to confirm what you're believing.
The confirmation bias.
Yes.
It's kind of like law of attraction to whatever energy you're putting out, you're bringing back in.
Exactly. That's exactly it. And so that's why when a lot of people are like, oh, like law of attraction is so wooey, it's like literally there's so much science behind it. Like you can really dig deep into it if you want to and find like that substantial science behind it to let you know that that's actually what you're doing. So
there we go. The science is behind it.
Yeah, we love it. The second thing is something that I feel like a lot of people deal with when they are starting out with something new and they're like, okay, I know what I want to do, but I don't know how to get started. I don't know where to go. And they're getting all of this information from social media, different coaches, different books. And what I would say, and it sounds ridiculous, but it's like everything works. If you try anything, everything works. But what you really want to do is find what works best for you because that's what you're going to have to wake up and do every single day. And so if you're following this strategy or whatever, or this plan, and it's really inauthentic to you, you're not going to want to show up in your fullest capacity. So you want to make sure that, be a sponge in the beginning. Everything can work if you put the time and effort into it. Just find what works for you because that's going to make you significantly happier on the day-to-day.
And that reminds me of kind of failing forward.
Yes.
So anytime, even if something, quote, didn't work as the way that you thought it would, it's still going to work because you now got to step forward.
Yes. And and this is not something that I created, so like don't quote me on this, but I had always thought that the succession was like you're in the middle and if you fail you're going away from success, like it's in the opposite direction. But then I had seen something and it was like actually that model's incorrect. Like you are on the left and you have to move through failure in order to get to success. And I was like, oh my gosh. So there's the failing forward. Like the more times that you fail, the faster you get to getting the clarity that you need in order to be successful.
I love that so much. Also, I feel like you need to be rejected multiple times.
Oh yeah.
In order to really understand what success is too.
Yeah. And I think success can change based on, how you grow. Things look different to you then, like your focus changes, things like that. And so allow that to be fluid. Allow it to be fun too.
I love that. Oh, so great. So much positive energy.
Yay. The next thing is something that my old coach told me and I took it and ran with it is the fact that everything in life is made up. Like not only is it like the things that we follow every day, like we in the US, drive on the right side of the road where people in the UK drive on the left side of the road. Like literally someone made that up one day and then everyone's followed it. Yeah. But it's like the plant right there or that disco ball plant. Like somebody thought that would be cool. It was literally made up in someone's mind and then they went and created it. So if you're creating something or going after something that seems like ridiculous because you've never seen it before, whatever, like literally everything else that you have in your house, that you have bought, that you have invested into, that you've spent time with, has also just been made up. So
this is making me think about Post-its.
Yes.
Like the idea of putting adhesive on a piece of paper and now it is this multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yes,
Post-its.
Exactly.
It's all made up.
Yeah, exactly. Or Spanx, like she literally took pantyhose and cut them and was like, here we go. Like everything is made up. Yes, exactly. So definitely like whatever you want to create, like you can create it.
Love it.
Love it. This is more for people selling stuff, but it could, I guess, be also like selling yourself and your talents. If you're maybe an athlete or something like that, is like everyone is selling something, but what they can't replicate is you specifically. So it's like you being completely authentic to yourself is something that other people can only make a facade of, right? And so it's like people are going to feel that energy. Talking about law of attraction, like we were talking about universe stuff earlier, like just all of that energy, people can feel that. And so when you are your most authentic self, like that's what people really want to see, want to buy into. And so 100%.
Amen.
That's why you are such a
Amen on that
success,
one.
because you are the most authentic, fun person that I've met. And
You're
like
so sweet.
literally, like that's why people just naturally gravitate towards you, because
thank
that's
you.
how you show up. And it's amazing.
I appreciate that. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that you said that, because I tell a lot of my content creators that I'm coaching with their content, social media is such a saturated market, of course, but no one does what you do the way you do it.
The way you do it, the way you say it, all of that.
No one does what you do the way you do it. And that's your superpower, always. And you know, I just feel like it doesn't have to be saturated when you know that you're different than every other person that's creating, the way you say something. And it's beautiful. It's what makes the world better. So I love that you mentioned that.
Exactly. And like I think too, when you'll have experiences sometimes where it's like someone said something, or maybe multiple people have said the same thing to you, but then it's like the fifth coach says it just in a tiny different way, and you're like, oh my God, it all makes sense.
That's
and it's like
true.
that's what it was. You needed them to hear it, or to say it, you need to hear it from them. You needed to hear it the way that they said it, and maybe you needed to be primed X amount of times before it actually clicked.
Right time, right person, right place, all the things.
Exactly.
Love that.
And then the last thing is something that I think everybody can kind of relate to is just because you're having a bad day does not mean that you are producing bad work. Like you can still produce good work on a bad day. And I know that I get caught in this sometimes, especially if it's like rainy out and you're like, it's a bad day anyway. And like the world is bleh. Like you can have a bad day and then you're like, oh, I don't really want to work on this project because I don't want to put bad energy into it. Or like, I think it's going to be a waste of time and this, that, and the other thing. And really, like you can still produce great work regardless of how you're feeling. So don't allow just a fleeting feeling to dictate how you're going to continue your day, your week, your month, however it is.
That is such beautiful advice, because I feel like I've been able to take myself out of a really bad mood when I'm creating.
Yes.
Even especially even with art, with children, when you are painting, when you're creating something, putting something into the world with your own thoughts and manifesting it on paper. It's beautiful. It really lifts you up.
Yeah, really. And like it's funny that I actually had this on here because I said this on my Instagram story this morning, that it's like you don't want to gaslight yourself. You don't want to say like, oh no, it's not a bad day. Like, blah, blah, blah. Like feel the things and realize that you have such a power to consciously choose a different reality for yourself, a different feeling, a different energy, whatever you want to do. It's not saying, oh, these are bad, I'm going to push them away, blah, blah, blah. You're saying, hey, I see this part of me, I feel it, but I'm not going to allow it in the driver's seat today. Like it can take the passenger seat, maybe it's in the trunk, like maybe it's like really being dragged along, but you can consciously choose how you want to, you know, go about the rest of your day and what other feelings and things you want to take on. So create that reality and make it, you know, your own.
I love that. This is why you're such an amazing high performance coach and breathwork coach. How can people support you?
Yeah, so I am on Instagram at Corinne.Eckert. My website is being built right now, so it's CorinneEckert.com, or will be. Instagram is basically the best place to find me right now. I'm looking to really bring more Theta breathwork to people. So if you're looking for any type of breathwork work or to try it out, just let me know and I would love to get you connected and hooked up with that. It's a really powerful modality that has helped me and a lot of people that I've worked with clear so many limiting beliefs, so much stuck energy, and it's really what has allowed me to make such a huge transformation in the past few years. And so I'm really excited to bring that to more people.
I love that. And even in our short time here together on Everybody in Charlotte, this has been so helpful. I feel so uplifted already. Yay! So thank you guys for tuning in to Everybody in Charlotte with Corinne Eckert here. I'm again your host, Marinator, Meredith Dean. If you want to host your own podcast in 2024, Everybody Studios is the place to do it. It is so
really
much fun.
Cool.
You
it's
like
a really
it?
Cool place.
We've loved it. It's great. So, and they have a wonderful team. So please make sure you go check out Everybody Studios on Instagram, on TikTok, all the things. And we'll see you next time for our next episode of Everybody in Charlotte.
Yay.